I've already decided to make myself unpopular, so I thought I would do it again. Things I do as a parent that are not popular. Just for reference, my kids are only 7, 5, 4, and 2. And I'm jumping that ahead a couple weeks because I'm about to have a bunch of birthdays. That being said, let's get to it. My kids have to actually apologize. This is a big one, especially when I'm around other kids, because a lot of times when they hurt each other, because kids hurt each other, normally it just turns into an I'm sorry situation, and that's not acceptable for my children. If my children hurt another child, I require them to say, I'm sorry, would you please forgive me? I'm sorry, it's fine if it was an accident. It is reserved for accidents only. But would you please forgive me is showing that you are actually sorry, because any kid can walk up and just say, I'm sorry. And I do that only to help them realize the heart issue that it comes behind actually hurting somebody and needing to make it better. My kids are not allowed to interrupt. I don't care if it's me and my husband talking, me and my best friend talking. I don't care if I'm on the phone. I don't care if I'm talking to one of my other children. They are not more important than the other person I'm talking to. Keep your place in line. So instead of mom, 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 for 10 minutes while you're trying to talk to somebody, I teach them to put their hand on me, and I'll tap them and let them know that I know that they're there. And as soon as I can get a break in the conversation with whoever I'm talking with, I'll say, hey, what do you need? Temper tantrums don't get attention. I did a whole video about temper tantrums and how to handle them. This is important because if they get attention or if they get what they want, especially in public, it will continue to be a problem. Chores. They have chores in the morning. They have chores in the afternoon. They have chores in the evening. They help me with cleaning. They help me with dinner dishes. They help me with everything I'm doing. My kids are involved. No internet access unless I'm there. My kids are allowed to watch YouTube, but only when I look up the video, and only because I think YouTube is a very vital learning platform. So if I open up a video for them to learn, or let them look up a video like what kind of bug has a red spot on its back, then it will be opened on the table or on the couch where I'm close by and I can make sure they're not clicking on anything else. Other than that, they don't get to play on my phone. They don't have a tablet, and the only other technology we have is a video game. Eat the food I made for them. Why is this so hard to understand? I make a meal, you're going to eat the meal. I'm not going to make another meal to feed you just because you don't like what I made the first time. And I do also do the no dessert if you do not finish your meal. They can do the whole, I'm full and I don't want to finish eating. Okay, well then you are also too full for dessert. You probably just heard them being really rowdy in the background. Here comes another one. Another one I put with mealtime is staying seated until their food is finished. This is really unpopular, and it used to be a big thing. Everybody would sit around a table, and then you'd have to ask permission to get up, especially as a kid, or may I be excused, or something like that. I am planning on implementing that, especially at dinner time when we're all eating together. But breakfasts and lunches are the same way when my husband's not here. It's just you finish your food, and you're going to stay here until your food is done. And I do that for a few different reasons. One, I don't like the whole snack lunch, snack dinner, snack breakfasts. If you're going to sit down and you're going to eat a meal, you're going to eat a full meal, because I'm not feeding you 4 times in the next 4 hours because you're still hungry. And I do not starve my children, just so you know. No shyness allowed. That's going to get a big one. Okay, so when I say no shyness allowed, I'm not saying my child is not allowed to have its own personality or her own personality. All I'm saying is that you are not allowed to pretend to be shy or be shy when an adult is talking. So if an adult comes up and says, hi, sweetheart, how are you doing today? My daughter or son or whatever is not going to bury their face into my leg and ignore the adult. Unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And I'm doing this only for the reason that children need to learn to respect adults. Adults are their authority. I am the authority. But other adults also need to be respected. And if they can't do that, then how am I supposed to be able to drop them off with another adult so I can have some quiet time or some peace or a date night? My children need to respect the people that are watching them just as much as me. Obey me the first time I say something. Ooh, this is a really controversial one because people do the whole counting thing. People do the whole repeating thing. No, honey, no. You go pick up that toy on the floor. If they ignore it, if they don't answer it, obey me the first time. Can I say it 100,000 times? Because this is one of the biggest problems in any home. Children do not obey. Well, how do you make them obey the first time? You don't allow them to disobey. That's literally it. And you have to be consistent about it. And this is also one of the hardest because in my case, there's 4 kids running around me, and I say one to do something, but I'm also telling somebody else to do something at the same time, and it's easy for my brain to be like, oh, I completely forgot that I told that person to do it. So if they're not doing it and they get away with disobeying me, then it will continue to be a problem. It's a matter of being consistent. I told you to do that. You're going to do it the first time. If you're not going to do it the first time, there will be consequences. So we do something called the penny reward system. It is not my idea. I got it from another mother. I was reading her book, and I need to do a video about her book because it was phenomenal. But we will basically reward the children with pennies for things that I see that them doing, like with character. So if my 7-year-old has the initiative to go clean up his room without me telling him, I will notice that and I will give him a penny. It is not a bribe system. It is not, I'll give you 2 pennies if you go clean your bedroom. It is if I see you doing something that I appreciate as a mother, I will reward you. It's good for the kids because it's positive. It's good for the parents because it helps us look at the positive instead of just focusing on the negative. And they can save their pennies and spend them on different rewards of the house, like video games, like a piece of candy, like stay up late time, etc. Chores before breakfast. I said chores earlier, but this is before breakfast. And that is only the basics of the same things I do when I get out of bed. Get up, get dressed, make your bed, brush your teeth, come to the breakfast table. That's it. Unless their room is a mess, but it shouldn't be because they're supposed to clean it the night before. But if it is a mess from them being rowdy in the morning or something, then they have to clean that too. I do not bribe them for good behavior. That is in public, that is at home. Like, I will not walk into a store and say, if you're behaving today, or if you do good in the store, I'll buy you a candy bar. I don't do that. No, that is nothing more than a dog sitting for a treat. The good behavior that they have needs to come from their heart and because they know that you are in charge and because they learn and know how to act. I do not ask what they want. There's nothing wrong with options, especially as kids get older. They need that. It's part of their independence. It's part of their freedom. We have options as adults. We just have to train them to use those options properly. For example, sometimes I'll ask my 7-year-old, do you want peanut butter and jelly or ham sandwiches for lunch? And he will answer likewise. But the thing is, once he makes up his mind, that's what's happening. Like, if you say peanut butter and jelly, buddy, we're getting peanut butter and jelly. And I'm probably going to make it for the whole family at that point because I'm not making 2 different types of meals. I do not give them options for anything big. I don't wake up in the morning and say, hey, what do you want to do today? No. My kids are allowed to ask if they would like to do something like, hey, Mom, can we go to the park today? And I'll answer yes or no based on what my day holds and everything that we have going on. Or I could use that as well, if we get everything done that I need to get done today, then yeah, we can definitely try to make the park a possibility. But I guess I could say my reasoning for not giving them options is because I don't want them to feel entitled. Like, you're gonna get what you get and you're gonna be happy about it. And as you get older, you're gonna have more options. So that's it. A 9-minute compilation of what I do as a parent that's unpopular. If you enjoy it, great. If not, please feel free to comment. I wouldn't mind talking to you about anything.